So very grateful for that, sir.
There's never been a wave like this outside of the breaking of a dam, because this was almost a wave that ended up being 30 feet high, more actually. Now with the dam you can understand it, but this approached almost with that speed. When you see a dam break, it's not a pretty sight. It wipes out everything, and this is the kind of thing that built up so fast. And it's happened 2 or 3 times before over the years, but not to this extent.
President Trump just gave one of the most heartfelt and emotional statements I've ever heard from him. And it wasn't at a rally, it wasn't political. It was a response to the devastating flash floods in Texas that took the lives of children and left families shattered.
But tell them when you met the father who was picking up the daughter's clothing. And,
I had walked through the cabin where all the little girls died, and I had kind of fallen apart in there, but I walked out of the cabin, and a gentleman was standing there, and he said, that man over there needs a hug. And so I walked over to him, and I hugged him, and I said, do you work here? And he said, no, my little girl was in that cabin. And he said, and I just found her best friend about an hour and a half ago. She had passed away. And he just fell apart. And so then we just hugged and talked for probably an hour about that. But then there was the grandpa was there looking for his granddaughter as well. There was a dad there of one of the counselors. The counselor was alive, but she was dealing with the fact that she had hung on to some of these girls and was trying to keep them out of the floodwaters, and had gotten hit by something and had lost 2 of the girls, and wasn't able to hang on to them, and was going to live the rest of her life thinking about that moment when she wasn't able to hang on to these girls. But these parents were picking up their kids' belongings out of the mud and throughout the camp and putting them in bags. And then one of the dads said, I knew 50 of these girls here. So I knew that was her dress, and my daughter's friend's dress. So he was picking it up and putting it in a bag to return to her parents. And so it was and then the director was there comforting everybody who had lost his father the night before too, and he was still there trying to facilitate all of these parents grieving their children and find them. So the strength of people is incredible. One of the things that I asked there that day was that they all have escorts or counselors when parents come in. So from that point, that when they came into the camp, that they have somebody with them when they're going and looking for their children's belongings or looking for their children. And so very emotional, but also just so tragic.
The relationship with Texas and the governor has been obviously very good for years with me, but the relationship with Texas and their first responders and us, with our first responders and lots of other people, and we brought in a lot of helicopters from all over, and we had a lot of helicopters. It was actually dangerous, a lot of helicopters up there, but they were real pros, and they were responsible for pulling out a lot of people, and we got them there fast, and Texas had some good ones too.
This wasn't campaign Trump. This wasn't showman Trump. This was President Trump, heartbroken, human, and deeply moved.
But the response has been incredible, and the fact that we got along so well, I don't know, I don't even think that's a political thing, but we got along so well, and it was so unified. I think a lot of lives have been saved. That could have been as bad as it was, and you could have lost double or triple. This thing was just really horrible. Well, congratulations on a great job, and I appreciate it. I know you're going down. I'll be going down on Friday with First Lady. We'll be taking a trip, and we don't want to get in anyone's way because that's what happens. The president goes, and everyone's around focused on. I don't want anyone to focus on us, but it's possible they could have somebody saved still. There's a lot of areas. It's a big area, and it's probably unlikely at this point, but there could be. They're thinking there could be the possibility, but what a tragic situation. A good job, and we'll see you on Friday, and we'll finish out the day here.
Trump didn't want to be a distraction. He made that clear. He's going down there with the First Lady on Friday, but he said it plainly. I don't want anyone focused on us. I don't want to get in the way. That's humility. That's respect. That's real leadership. And I think the reason it hits so hard is because, deep down, we all know what it means to lose someone, or to imagine losing a child. We all know that feeling of helplessness, but we also know the power of showing up, of standing next to someone when they are at their lowest. So to the people of Texas, our hearts are with you. You've shown incredible strength. And to those who lost loved ones, know this: you're not alone. You are surrounded by a nation that mourns with you, that stands with you, and that will remember your children, your family, and your bravery. If you found this video meaningful, please share it. Let people hear the truth about what's happening in Texas, and what kind of man Trump truly is when the cameras aren't rolling. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates.